Hello. I'm easing into this and I'm be freaking honest with you guys right now. I do not know what is going to come through me. I do know that there's this big energy that's coming through, and I do have a high level view, but I will tell you there are hardly any bullet points that are right there for me to grasp. Is going to be channeled. And what I do know is that I am showing up fierce tonight. This energy has been building within me, I'd say, since maybe just before the full moon. And it's been formulating in my mind. So I receive the picture, and then it starts to formulate in my mind, and I start to see how it comes together in a way to communicate. Hey, Missy, Bree, Steph, Tom. And today is the night where it's not totally formulated, but this energy is ready to come through, and in a fierce way of calling forth anybody and everybody that has been, that knows so deeply within their hearts and within their souls that they have something of value and of impact, or even know that what they are experiencing right now is so much less than what they know is totally possible. Now is that there are aspects within ourselves that are holding us back. So if anybody is feeling uncomfortable, if you're feeling like you're in a pattern or you're in a cycle that you just can't freaking break, it's because there is something greater pulling you forward, and there's a part inside of you that's holding you back. So the asshole part, sometimes you're the asshole. And I'll tell you a story. My mentor, at one point, this one moment, this one day, these moments before our session, she was the asshole. And I was preparing for the session and just hearing all of these stories about how she really doesn't she's not really invested in me. She really doesn't care about my progress. She really doesn't care what's going on for me. And she's only in it for the money. I mean, I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud, but it's really important for you guys to know. So all this stuff is going on in my head before I'm meant to meet with my mentor. And being the honest person and open communication person that I am, and also knowing, because it was like I was observing myself. So I was observing myself, and actually my mentor just texted me back. So I was observing myself, listening to these stories and wanting to respond and like get so angry at her. So we get on the phone and I just tell her, I don't, I think you're in this for the money. You're not really helping me. What else did I say? Oh my gosh. It was just like, I was so like angry at her, and all this like energy was coming through, and I was like, I just felt like she was just not on my side. And being the amazing, badass, freaking mentor that she is, she just held the space for me to be me wherever I was. So in my mind, she was the asshole. And what the truth is, she's not. The truth is that an aspect of myself got lit up and fired up and was doing all that it could to block, I've got freaking goosebumps everywhere, to block my growth, to slow me down, to step me back, to keep me quiet, to keep me at the level that I was in being quiet, not being too expressive, not going beyond my inner, my inner limitations or my comfort zone, or sharing my message. This part was showing up on this call with her, telling her that she didn't care about me and she didn't really support me and she was only in it for the money. And the truth was, it was my aspect. It was an aspect of myself trying to play safe. And so as we went through that session, I collapsed it and got to the truth of what that was really about. And it's been a part of my process of sharing more of my authentic, true message with the world. And the truth is, I'm going to be laying truths all over you guys. Plus, I want to say hi. Hi. Hey, Michelle, Robin, Tracy, Lou. Hey, guys. Hey, Jason, Olivia. So the truth is, this aspect of myself was slowing me down. And this is a lot of the work that I do with my clients one-on-one, is that these protective mechanisms are there. So we have these experiences through life. Some of it happens in childhood that halt us, that split off an aspect of ourselves. So let's just say, you know, let's say we're in front of I remember this one situation. I was in 5th grade and I was wearing my neighbor's Jordache jeans for the first time. And I was writing on the chalkboard. This is literally just coming through right now. And I just remember hearing comments about the Jordache jeans. And that made me feel really subconscious about myself. And so when things like that happen, we want to make ourselves small. And interestingly enough, you know, moving forward from that, I did have some ups and downs with weight from a majority of my life from that space on. That's not the only cause of it, but what happens is that when we have an uncomfortable experience, or we have a trauma, big T, little t, where we have an experience where we feel discomfort and we don't, like, something happens and we don't know what to do with the energy, right? We're embarrassed, we're ashamed, we're ridiculed, or whatever it is, or made fun of for doing this thing, for just being who the fuck we are, just being who we are. This little aspect of ourselves splits off from our whole self and holds that energy of the pain, okay? And what it does is it's a way of protecting ourselves. It's a way of helping ourselves feel safe. But the thing it also does is that it keeps us from going beyond our comfort zone. It keeps us from doing that thing that may cause an uncomfortability, that it may cause us to be exposed or vulnerable, or, you know, anything that gets close to where that feeling may be triggered again. And so it's like this catch-22, right? So we're going through this growth process. We're going through this process of trying to develop or create a relationship or build a business, or, you know, speak out more, or, you know, become a part of a community and have more connections. But then something stops us. It's self-sabotage, or, you know, we get too busy, or drama, or we say we don't have the time, or we don't have the resources, or whatever it is that we come up with, the bullshit excuses that get us to that space of what we really desire, right? Because there is something burning inside of you that is ready to be expressed, that, you know, even on this subtle level, you share these parts of you, these deeper parts of yourself, with those that are close around you that feel safe. But what's happening now in the energy is that more of ourselves, all of you, are being called forth to be showing up in bigger ways. More of who you are, with the art you do, with the people you touch, the people you speak to, the family unit you create. All of you is necessary for that right now. And a couple of things are holding that back. Some of it is these aspects that even keep us, you know, we want these deep, intimate relationships, but because maybe we had an abandonment from a young age, or we learned very young that we weren't worthy or valuable or important, an aspect, or 17, broke off and are holding that energy and running that pattern. So anytime you get close to this goal that you are trying to accomplish, whatever it is, something kicks in and says, don't get any closer. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be, you know, embarrassed, ridiculed, whatever the wound is, right? And so that's where these aspects hold us back. I want to say hi to who's here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, pop them in. So these aspects are a part of what block us, okay? And so that's where, so we could take a look at the story where I started this, where I was thinking that my mentor was the asshole. Sometimes I'm the asshole. And I know when I'm playing that role, and I know asshole is like a harsh word, but it's like, what's happening? So when someone triggers us, when someone, all right, so one, for these aspects, we hold ourselves back. And then because we're these amazing co-creators. So there's this greater part of us that's like, hey, I want to come through. I want to be the expression. I want to talk. I want to help people. I want to speak. I want to make a difference in who I am. I want to be this presence of the world. I want to dance. I want to do art. So this other part is like, hey. And so what it does is it starts to co-create and pull in players into your life. And these players are also assholes, and they come in and they are terrible in relationship, or they are awful with boundaries, or they, you know, how can I relate this to work? Hold on. You know what? Yeah. So hold on. There's a lot coming through. So even these people that come into our lives, even as clients or people that are interested in your work, or you know, we have these family dynamics that cause the beautiful dance that they cause. They actually show up to help release these aspects of ourselves, these parts of us that we have split off, and keep ourselves protected from what we really want. So you really want money, you really want abundance, you really want a relationship, you really want to be an artist, you really want to be what your soul is like asking to be. People will come in and trigger you to really take a look at this aspect. Because what happens is these aspects are playing out and they're totally subconscious. Totally subconscious. You know, it seems super real that my dishes need to be done exactly when I'm about to write a blog. When I've written, I'm going to write a blog on Wednesday. Or laundry suddenly needs to be done. Or all of a sudden drama needs to be focused on as I'm about to like schedule some talk I'm supposed to do, or whatever it is. It all will feel really real, but it's this aspect that is split off that says, don't get too close to what may hurt you. Don't get too close to where you may fail. Don't get too close to where you may look like an idiot. So people will come in, and what we do is we get distracted by the drama of what's going on with this asshole. And really, this asshole is a gift of poking something inside of us to actually look inside and say, what's going on in here? What inside of me is responding to what's happening out here? Because yeah, I'll look at it and say, well, they're an asshole. They're not respecting me. They're not, you know, honoring my boundaries. They're blah, blah, blah. But I'm getting triggered. So there's a belief inside of me that is incongruent with the greater part of myself and where I'm going. And so here's the gist for you guys to take with you about understanding these aspects of yourself and seeing more clearly, or understanding, because sometimes they're in our subconscious. They're running the background programs, so we don't always know they're involving themselves in our lives. You know, because we're on the dating site and we're going on dates, and you know, we're writing the blogs and we're putting out these programs, but we're not getting traction or we're not able to take the next step or ask for the money we want, or to really claim the relationship we want. So we keep pedaling around with this bullshit. So if it doesn't feel good, you're not aligned with your greater truth, and some of these aspects may be in the way. So you may need to get more vulnerable. I'll tell you right now, like to get on to some, like a Facebook or a live, or do a video or something like that, everybody gets nervous. So you just have to start doing what you need to do. Everybody gets nervous putting themselves on a dating site, or putting yourself out there and going to a network meeting, or, you know, writing your first blog, or putting your first painting up. Practice is going to support you. And this is where I'm so passionate about, is that The world needs the leaders, the change makers, the healers, the magicians, the sorcerers, those that have been doing all of this really powerful work underground, and you've been hiding out for so many different reasons, but I am telling you right now, your essence is needed in the world, and you've got to get out of your own way. And this is one of the ways. So I'm going to share with you how. I want to say hi, who's here? Thank you for the hearts. Does my face get like huge when I go in to look at the comments? Let's see. Oh, hey Jennifer, yay, thank you. Jacqueline, Jackie. I call you Jackie. Thank you for joining, saying hi. You know, like, if you guys are digging what I am like, you know, throwing down, like through some likes or put a GIF up there, or thank you, Alicia, for the kisses. Kisses right back. Okay, so the aspects. So do you guys understand how these aspects play out and show up and how they're developed? Thank you. Right, so for all different reasons, but what's really important, and this is where my work goes and the direction of my work is that we're always like connected, focused on the greater part of you, the greater aspect of yourself. And what's natural, as we're focused there, and we're GPS, we're like inner focus, lasered, tuning our vibration, you know, like heart connected to, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want to feel. This is how I want to be expression in the world. What is in the way will naturally come to the surface. And so what I'm offering you tonight is a way for you guys to discover some of the ways these things are in your way and holding you back or slowing you down. So what you can look at, so as you are focusing on what is this thing I want to experience? I want to experience more love. I want to experience deeper connection. I want to have more money. I want to, you know, share my voice out in the world. Please know that your voice is needed. If you get anything from this, if there's anybody watching this that knows there's something in there and you're like freaking out to share it, but you know that you're supposed to, please do. Please do. I hold space for you. And if you need support, we're going to be doing this in my next Mastery of You group program. Shameless plug there, or shameful plug? No. It's all good. I would love to have whoever's ready for this to join me. So you're focusing on the greater aspect of yourself. You want to be the artist. You want to be the change maker. You want to be the leader. You want to be the voice. You want to be in love, right? As you're focusing on the other side of that, like having that be your you know, your goal or whatever you want to call it, your experience. What will naturally rise are these aspects of yourself that say, well, you're not really good enough, or like, well, maybe if you lose like 15 pounds, or you're really not, you know, you don't really have the education, or you know, like people are going to make fun of you. You don't have enough information. And then what happens, and I know you guys do this, is that you dive into learning, you dive into programs, or you dive into a healing process, and you just go down this rabbit hole. And I'm enticing you out of the rabbit hole, and I'm saying to you that you have enough information, that you're valuable and worthy of being heard, and worthy of being loved, and worthy of, you're meant to be having these experiences that lie in your heart. So guess what? Guess who's in the way? You. And this is a gentle, beautiful way, and it's like empowering, because it's like so what we focus on, we attract, right? Where we put our energy, we build most. So we're always somehow thinking about something. Why not think about the final goal? This, you know, amazing family dynamic, this awesome relationship, this abundant business, this book deal, this like art show. Who I'm talking to, and I know who's listening to this, is that you know that who you are ripples out no matter what you're doing, whether you're in the grocery store or at your corporate job or in your kitchen with your family. Who you are ripples out, and that is what the world needs right now. So as you're focusing on your dreams, these aspects of yourself that say you can't do it are going to come up. The second piece, to just start daydreaming or thinking about, what am I believing about this thing? What am I believing? Okay, well, that I could be hurt, I could be annihilated. That's, for some of the change makers and healers and leaders that I work with, some of that stuff is really real. Is that energy, whether you believe in past lives or not, the energy of an experience that broke part of who you are is still, I see it still in people's fields. And so sometimes it'll manifest as a vision of a past life. And then we can also see how what's happening in a current life is mirrored to the vision that I get when I do the channeling and the readings. And so where am I going? So the change, the leaders, ripple effect. Where am I going? Oh, I got lost for a second there. Okay, so what am I believing? That I'll be annihilated, which can be true. And so what, that can be resolved on an energetic level. Because here's the thing that, we can do the goal setting, we can do the mantras and stuff, but if the inner energy is not aligned, and if these aspects are in, holding the wall up and being the armed guard and keeping everything, at distance, or even from these experiences of our past where parts of ours have been split off or taken or stolen or broken off, it's going to be even more challenging to do what it is and be the fullest expression that you are meant to be. So, the third thing I want to share with you, and I'll review all of these because I feel like maybe one time when I'm hearing the information, sometimes I don't, I don't even know on a human level if it's making some sense. Please let me know. Let's see. Alicia says, I had a past life experience last night and I almost didn't believe my own experience. Yeah. And yeah, it's, but you do on some level, right? It's almost like when I do these readings and it comes through, it is almost unbelievable, but you can't mistake it because it's almost so parallel to what's actually happening. So the third thing that I want to offer you, again, I'll review it again, is to take a look at, as you're moving forward and maybe you're distracting yourself, or you're in this pattern, or you're in this cycle, or you're self-sabotaging, what commitment, role, or agreement am I playing out? What role have I locked myself into? What agreement do I have to stay small, to stay in the same financial bracket as my family, to not speak up, to not speak my truth? And then, what did I say? That was agreement, right? So what commitment do I have? Because believe it or not, when I do these readings on a subconscious level, I can see that there is actually a commitment to staying small, so even in their mind where they're saying, well, I want to do this thing, in their energy, what I can read is that there is a commitment to remaining small. And because of these aspects that play out, or these parts that have been broken off, it's like they can't see for themselves how the commitment, this unconscious, this subconscious commitment is actually keeping them in place. And so I offer to you, as you do this, vision, daydream, meditation on where it is that you want to go and be next. And again, I'm really encouraging those that are feeling that they're meant to be doing more. They know on a deep level that they have an impact, because everywhere they go, whoever they are having an impact. That you know that you are meant to be doing more, and because the world needs you. Really, truly. And I know that the work that you've been doing underground and hiding out and flying under the radar has been, you know, in a way supportive of your growth and strength. And at the same time, it's time to bloom and blossom and fly. And so take a look. So these 3 things I'm going to say one more time is this, as you're visioning this greater next aspect of yourself, the 3 things, what is on the other side of this? So it's like, you know, because what we do is in our mind, we're like, oh, I want this relationship. But deep down on the other side of it is, well, now I might be vulnerable. Now I actually may have to have my needs seen or heard. Ah! And these aspects are like, warning, warning, do not move any closer. And so we self-sabotage and we keep ourselves in patterns. But when we identify the aspects and we you know, dissolve the energy and integrate, these aspects don't need to play out anymore, and we don't need to create those situations. And we get, as we collapse these aspects, we get more and more aligned with our truth. And just know, as we're collapsing these aspects, you badass warriors out there, as you're doing your work, you're rippling out. Even if who I'm talking to, your work is the ripple effect, you know, just for you. You don't have to be a big author or speaker or artist or leader. Just know that you doing your personal work will ripple out to the world. So I said, what's on the other side of this? What am I believing is number 2. And number 3, what role, commitment, or agreement am I playing out? All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Jackie says, everything you are speaking is hitting home 100% to the 2000% me, especially this past week. Good. So I hope, Jackie, that these 3 things that I'm sharing with you about, okay, just taking a look, what's on the other side? Because when you look on the other side, you can see, okay, I'm afraid of being vulnerable. And then you can work on resolving it, right? I'm afraid of being hurt. You know, because it's like these aspects pop up when we have these heartbreaks from the past. These aspects pop up and they say, okay, you know, we'll go on a few dates and maybe we'll be in a relationship for like 3 months, but we're not going to get that close. And so there's still this other part that's yearning and wanting more. And so as you're looking at what's on the other side of this, what am I believing and what are my commitments and agreements? Because what I see is that sometimes people are afraid to break their financial, what the hell, I can't find a word for it. They don't want to make more money than their family. They want to keep the role. Oh, this is a good one. Hope you guys are listening. They want to keep the role of the good girl or the good boy, or, you know, they don't want to, you know, they agree to do things on a subconscious level. So they agree to maybe be of service in ways that they really don't want to be of service. But this is subconscious agreement, which could be tied to being liked, being accepted. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things, and this is my gig. This is like, I get it, because I've been doing this for a long time, and I go through it my own self, so I get how the mind works. And so, let me just see how you guys are doing. I'm on fire tonight, Kellyanne. Thank you, Alicia. I am like, I knew coming into tonight that it was going to be fierce. And I really wanted to get the strong message across that, you know, whatever it is that you need to do to get to the other side of where you're at right now, of it, just know that the fact that you feel more is available to you, it is. And so however that looks, you know, I'm thinking of somebody right now, and I know she's watching. She's a very, very, very funny lady. And I know that if she stepped into her soul truth of sharing this funny piece of her, that would be a ripple effect onto the world that the world needs right now. Yeah. Yes, I can feel the energy. So here's the deal. 11/11 is this Saturday. and we are in a 1 year. So it's a bunch of ones. If you're into numerology, I'm into energy. I feel things. So yes, ones are this awesome symbolic thing about beginnings. But Saturday, I'm starting this program. We're going to be together for 15 days. We're going to look at these aspects. You're going to learn how to identify them for yourself. I'm going to bring people through the energy process. You're going to get the recording. We're going to be on a private conference line. You're going to get the recording after that. So we're going to do the aspects. We're going to release the aspects. You're going to learn how to process, because there's sometimes always another aspect there. And I'm cracking up at myself and my aspects. We're also going to be reclaiming the parts of ourselves that have been broken off, that we gave away, or that have been even taken from us. So those experiences where some of us have had trauma, parts of our soul essence have been broken off from that. However you want to say it. I mean, I see it as energy. When I see somebody in their full energy, it's like I just see this big glowing light. And when I see that aspects have been broken off, it's almost like there's these little, cracks or dark spaces. And let me just tell you, like, you guys are all whole and healed already. And I know that sounds like a bit of a contrast, but it's almost like this second session that we'll be going through is going to be helping you to actually like pull it all together and really just own it, because the parts of you that have given off, that have been broken off, one, if it was for trauma, it was a way for you to be able to survive, right? Other parts of us have been in these dysfunctional families where, those of us that are these, light workers, change makers, healers, these these souls that have come through in these really hard paths, we've come into these challenging family dynamics, and we've given off parts of ourselves to others in order for them to be able to continue on their journey. And what's happening is that is now even showing up in people's bodies right now in a very physical way of a manifestation of not having all of your essence and power with you. So we're going to do that. And then the third piece is I'm going to be actually, it's probably the first piece that's going to come in, is that, so all this is channeled. It comes in and we go. So I do know 3 pieces. And the first piece is bringing you into your most powerful center, so that life can be with ease, so it can be with flow, so it can be with effortlessness. And then we'll go in, we'll release the aspects, we'll reclaim. I'm really just going to trust the energy. It may be in a whole different order, but I know we start Saturday at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November, and it's going to be in a private conference line where we're all called into. And then the rest of the work for the 15 days is going to be inside a secret Facebook group. And I think that's all I have to share with you, but I know that this is like, it's so, it's hard to find word. Thank you for the hearts. I just feel the strength of it. And those that ripple out to the world, it's time for you. It's so time for you. So get out of your way. And if it feels like I'm the guide to help you get out of the way, let's do this group together. I also do private work and programs and one-on-one. It's like, I wish I could just show you guys. It's just like, I just see this ripple, and it's like just these ripples. And here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing is, I know it's been hard. It's been hard. Life has been a little bit challenging, and it feels like things have gotten in our way and we've gotten distracted, and and that's what, as we're reclaiming all of ourselves and as we're setting these aspects free, life starts to line up to match that. All right, what questions do you guys have? Jackie, do you guys have any questions about this or anything else, or you want to share any asshole experiences? So just keep in mind, it's not about blaming. It actually is like, you know, gratitude for the asshole that comes by and like pokes us in a way that really supports our growth if we take a look at it from an empowered space. Yeah, it's like this energy that we are all in. Here's the deal. If we really don't get freaking serious about taking a look inside and claiming our life that we want to be living and what we want to be feeling, we're gonna freaking suffer, and it's gonna be hard because you're resisting what this other part wants to come through. It can be with ease, it can be with effortlessness, it can feel magical. You're in charge, and I'd love to guide you. All right, I'm gonna wrap up. I'll tell you. So, did I say this before? I did say this before. So anybody that's still here at the end of this or watches all the way to the end, if you're afraid of going on a video or doing a talk, or I mean, some of this might not even be your gig. Maybe you're best at writing. Maybe you're best at doing an art, or maybe you're best at just being the dancer in the middle of the ecstatic dance. Maybe you're like best at standing in front of that open mic. Whatever feels good, that's what you're meant to be doing. So get out of your way and do it, because when you're living in your essence, there is this energy that's going to come through you, and it's going to have a ripple effect no matter what. Yeah, big change is happening. So if there's no questions, I'm going to log off. Any questions about the program I mentioned? Oh, you know what? I think I was gonna like put the link here. Oh, Kellyanne. So this way, if you guys want to pop in to the program. So here's the deal. We start on Saturday, and the pre-work, what is today? Wednesday? So we're gonna probably start the pre-party on Friday. We officially start Saturday at 11 a.m. If you aren't available for the live healing, energy, transformative sessions, you'll get the recording. But if you have any questions about it or wondering if this is a fit for you, please reach out. But if you get anything from this video, if there's something in your heart that you know you're meant to be experiencing, if the things around you are poking at you to let go of these protective mechanisms, these rules or agreements that you've put yourself in don't fit anymore and it's uncomfortable, set yourself free. Choose differently. Do the right thing that may be a little challenging or against logic, because it's all about feeling. All right, I love you guys. Thanks for showing up.